Hi, I'm Psyker, and today I'd like to show you something that I have been cooking up for the last couple of weeks. Introducing my mangrove farm. Started about a month ago. I needed just chests and chests of mangrove wood, and I kind of got carried away designing a new farm since I couldn't find anything else that was quite fast enough for my taste. For Bedrock Edition, at least. Tons and tons of credit goes to Ninja Dankinate for inspiration and extra help. Without them, I never would have even started on this project. I saw a screenshot of their farm and decided of their early version of a farm like this and decided to use the screenshot of their central chamber to use as a base for mine. They got the inspiration for their central chamber from someone named Kyryu. So, credit to both of them. In addition, this farm would not be possible without this neat little circuit here. This is a redstone incrementer, and this design is credit to u/eggfur on Reddit. Without this thing, this farm literally wouldn't exist. So, let's get started, shall we? Before we get to the tutorial, I'm going to show you how the farm works. So, first things first. Control panel. This button's the emergency shutoff. You can use it to stop the farm at any time. It will stop the farm and it'll make the farm completely retract. If the farm is locked, either from the emergency shutoff or the overflow lock, which happens every time the output gets full, you can press this button to unlock the farm. When you're getting ready to start on the farm, you gotta turn on farm cycling and bonemealing. Farm cycling will make it so the farm runs over and over again, so that you can just do tree after tree without having to press this button every time. Bonemealing, well, it is what it says on the tin. It bone meals the spot where your propagules go. And, well, once you're ready to really start, you want to grab a propagule, place it in the spot, wait for the bonemealing to do its magic, and start the farm. It is that simple. Once the farm gets going, you can go ahead and place another propagule there. And as you'll see, it'll start bonemealing. Everything will pull back. And another mangrove tree will grow. And you can just keep doing this over and over again. You'll get carpets and sticks falling on you, so this sort of acts as a passive moss carpet farm too. Just real neat. Keep your eyes open. Subscribe if you want to see a design for a propagule farm. I'm still working on one that doesn't suck. So, just keep your heads up if you want to see something like that in the future. Over in this direction, we have the mangrove wood output. So, I couldn't get it to actually be a solid cube. That would have made the farm slow and complicated. So, we really only need this row of observers here to detect when this area is as full as it's going to get. Once the wood fills all the way out here and touches the observers, it will shut off the farm so that the farm doesn't break itself. Once you want to stop the farm, it is as easy as shutting off farm cycling and shutting off bonemealing. Now, I shut it off a bit late, so the farm is going to do one more cycle. As soon as it's on this, the farm's going to stop moving. Now let's move on to the tutorial. First of all, materials list. There will be a materials list in the description, as well as in the pinned comment, as well as on this world, the world download, which will also be in the description. There are a total of 14 different circuits in this farm. We will be building them one at a time. The timestamps are in the description. Video is going to be split into chapters. It'll be really easy to remember which circuit you're on if you use colored wool. I'm using colored wool to make it less confusing. So, let's get on to circuit 1, the timing circuits. Alright, so the area the farm fits in is 29 from front to back, and 35 from left to right. If this is the center of that area that you've cleared out, you're going to want to go 9 blocks in this direction, 9 blocks in this direction, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks up. You're going to take a dropper facing in this direction, and a dropper facing in this direction. In this direction. you're going to want to put an unstackable item of your choice into the right side dropper. Coming out from these two droppers, you want to put out a little bit of your building material. Break those two. So you're just left with these. You want a comparator. You're going to want a dispenser. And you're going to want a repeater on 4 ticks. Inside this dispenser, you want powder snow. This repeater will be facing into a block, which will be facing into a repeater on 2 ticks, which will be facing into some redstone dust, which feeds into another repeater, this time on 4 ticks. And then you can get rid of all these unnecessary blocks here if you want to. After this repeater on 4 ticks, you're going to want to build out something kind of like this. A little square here with redstone dust and a redstone torch. This right here will be useful a little bit later. From this block here, you're going to want to build out a 4x2 platform. This will be the clock that the incrementer runs on. You're going to put a comparator here in subtract mode, a repeater on 3 ticks, a repeater on 4 ticks, a repeater on 4 ticks again, and a repeater on 1 tick. And you're going to put redstone here, here, and here. I'm going to take an observer out, put it there, observing this redstone, have that facing into a block. Okay. Now, from where this dispenser with the powder snow in it is, I'm going to put an observer facing the empty space in front of the dispenser. Over here by this torch we placed earlier, you're going to want to put some blocks here for 2 repeaters, both on 4 ticks. Those will be pointing into another dispenser facing up. Inside this dispenser will be some powder snow. Observing the empty space above the dispenser, you want an observer. Have this observer facing into a solid block, and then some glass here, and 2 solid blocks here. And just run some dust there, and a repeater on 4 ticks. Once you have all of this done, it's time to build the incrementer. Pay attention, this part's complicated. So, first things first, put a block here and a block here. Going to have your repeater set to, I believe it was 2 ticks. Have that powering another repeater set to 1 tick, which goes into a block. Over here, you're going to be building out a little structure. It looks kind of like this. You want a block up here, a block down there, a block here, and a block here. Want a block here, and here. And here as well. So, let me just go around it again. Pause the video if you need, so you can get the right shape. Oh, and you'll also need a block here. Now you're going to want to put the actual redstone on this incrementer thing. So, first things first, comparator here on subtract mode, comparator here in regular mode. You're going to want a comparator facing into this block here on subtract mode, comparator here in regular mode. Want redstone dust here, here, and sorry, forgot to put a block here. So have the redstone dust trailing like that. Have a bit of dust here, and you're going to have a target block right here. If you've managed to keep up so far, congratulations. I'm just going to go around it a bit, and you can pause the video if you'd like to try and catch the details you need to catch. Once this is finished, congratulations, this is the main control circuit done. This will control everything about the farm. Before we move on any further, we're actually going to want to build the central chamber where the trees grow. So, going to go to this first important dropper here, and take some temporary blocks. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And using a glazed terracotta of your choice, going to place it right there on top of that pillar. You can go ahead and get rid of those temporary blocks now. Now, from here, you're going to build this 16 blocks up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, that will be the height of the central chamber. So going to the left of this, you're going to want a sticky piston every other block here. So let's just place the sticky pistons like that, and just break every other one. And in front of each one of these sticky pistons, you're going to put an observer observing the piston. In between the observers, you're going to put more glazed terracotta. The left of these observers, you're going to want to take some sticky pistons all the way back here so that the front is lined up with the back of that. And you're going to make it so that the observers are on different levels. Sorry, the pistons are on different levels than the pistons that are already there. And each of these is actually going to be a double piston extender with a bit of honey on front. And in between these honey blocks, you're going to have a solid block of your choice. To the left of this is just a lot of glazed terracotta. 2 strips of glazed terracotta. So strip 1 and strip 2. That's one side done. Next, you're going to want to turn to the right. You're going to have some sticky pistons right here, lined up with where the honey would be, and just have these on every other block, exactly where the honey was. Just like that. On the front of these, you're going to place slime. And then in between the slime, you're going to put more glazed terracotta. To the right of this, you're going to have a straight line, and you're going to build it out something like this. You're going to have a dropper facing up, with 2 observers facing forward, and a regular piston. I'm going to build this all the way up, all 16 blocks, with no gaps. Once you got this put together, you're going to do another set of 2 pistons to the right of that, or sorry, 2 sticky pistons to the right of that, offset 1 block from where all the sticky pistons on the left side are. So you have just like this. Once you have that put in place, you're going to take slime, put them on the front of the sticky pistons, and glazed terracotta in between the slime. I think you've got it by now. To the right side of this wall, you're going to basically make a mirror image of the left side wall. The only difference being that the honey and the solid blocks will have swapped places. So, we're going to have it sort of like this. We're going to have your pistons here, with your slime. Just a little bit. Once you have that wall done, next you're going to turn around and do the output wall, or as I like to call it, the claw wall. It will basically be a mirror image of this side, but without the center pistons. Next thing you're going to do is go out to the back side of the honey block sections and just place obsidian in between the double piston extenders. This will help prevent, this is here just in case the machine decides to try and push itself apart. If it does end up jamming, this obsidian will make sure that you get far less damage. After that, you're going to want to put obsidian on the corners. This obsidian will be important for helping control the double piston extenders on the back and the front. You're going to want to put the obsidian where the slime is. Just cover the slime with the obsidian. Once you have all that done, congratulations, you have finished the central chamber. Once you have both the timing circuit and the central chamber done, now we can move on to the control circuits. First, we'll start with the orange circuit. So, you're going to put a block on the output of this incrementer, just like that. Redstone dust, redstone repeater set to 1 tick. Then you're going to sort of build out a path for redstone like this. 1 block there, 3 blocks just like that, and then 1 up like that, and 3 like that. You're going to dust up that whole thing. You're going to put blocks here and here, and here, with 2 repeaters set to 4 ticks each. Next to this block, you're going to put a dispenser with powder snow inside of it, and an observer facing where the powder snow will dispense into. Over here, you're going to want to make a shape that looks kind of like this, where you have a sort of a T here, 2 blocks, and then something just like that. You're going to have a repeater set to 3 ticks, a repeater here set to 4 ticks, and a repeater here set to 4 ticks. And here another one set to 3. From here, you're going to have 2 blocks on each side, and then another one like that, where you'll have a repeater set to 3 ticks on either side. And then feel free to redstone up this area here. Over here, you're going to sort of build up a small staircase, just like that, with redstone on it and a glass here, so the redstone can actually travel through, and a repeater set to 4 ticks. Once you have this repeater in place, you're going to want to build a glass zipper so the redstone can make its way up to power everything. So it's going to be sort of a pattern like that, going all the way up. Once you have this built, place redstone along everything here. So that's going to be just redstone all over the zipper, especially down here, and redstone on each piece of obsidian. Once that's done, you can test that it's working properly. like that, and see all the things extended, which is exactly what we want. So next you're going to go here and build a little staircase for your redstone, just like that, and it will run into a repeater on 2 ticks right here. And you're going to want to build another staircase for your redstone right here. It goes all the way up. And make sure that there's a part right down here. Once you have that built, you can test it. And you see everything got extended. Now let's do the other side. Just like that side, we're going to build up a small staircase for our redstone with a bit of glass here. And we're going to cover in redstone with a repeater on 4 ticks. Then we're going to build our little staircase again. And then you're going to want to cover that staircase in redstone. As well as all of the obsidian. To test that it's working, simply place a lever and check that every other piston here is being extended. Finally, you're going to build one more staircase right here. And with redstone on it, going into 2 building blocks here, and a repeater on 2 ticks. With, once again, a glass staircase to get the power to all the different pistons. And to check that it's working, just go ahead and lift that lever. And this time you should see everything getting extended, because these 2 sides are linked now. And to check that the whole thing works, you can feel free to place a lever here. And see that it brings the whole wall forward 2 blocks. Fantastic. So I actually forgot to record this part, so just ignore any other bits that you see that haven't been built yet. Don't worry, they're coming later. Anyway, next we're going to do the light gray circuit. First, you're going to put an observer here, facing into the space where this powdered snow will dispense. You're going to build a wool path, just like this. And then you're going to bring it all the way around, bring it up like that, and forward, just like that. Once you've got this in place, you're going to make a glass redstone tower going all the way up to the top of these dispensers, or droppers, I guess. Yeah. And sort of make a base for that. Now you're going to want to actually put in the redstone. So, repeater here on 4 tick, repeater here on 1, and redstone dust coming all the way up here. You're going to have a repeater here on 1 tick, and redstone going up this glass section here. To test if you've built this part here correctly, all you're going to do is put a lever here, and just flick it. If all of those pistons extend all at the same time, then you are golden. Next, we're going to do the lime circuit. You're going to start off by placing 2 blocks here with redstone and a repeater set to 4 ticks. Put a line, have that repeater facing into a building block, and have a block on the other side with redstone. Build a path for the redstone, looking something like this, with the redstone going all the way up like that with a torch. You're going to want to put a piece of glass here so that the roots from the mangrove tree doesn't cut off the redstone line later. You're also going to want to place a piece of wool here so that this line doesn't interact with other lines when you build them. So, torch here, with a block on top, and then another torch, and then a block on top. And from this block, we're going to make a staircase for our redstone. And we're going to place redstone all down that staircase. Finally, we're going to put a dispenser facing upwards next to this torch with a piece of powder snow in it, and an observer facing up next to this torch. Next, let's do the magenta circuit. Once again, you're going to start over by the incrementer, put 2 blocks here with a redstone dust and a repeater set to 1 tick. And you're going to place 3 blocks in this direction. And you're also going to put a black wool here to make sure that the orange and magenta lines don't mix. Next to the end of these blocks, you're going to place a dispenser with powder snow inside, and you're going to put an observer facing the spot where the powder snow would dispense. Next, you're going to take 2 blocks in this direction with redstone on them, and a block here with a torch. On top of that, you're going to have another block with another torch, and then another block. Over here, you're going to place a block here and here, with the repeater here facing out from where the observer puts the redstone and into this block. That will be a 1 tick. Once you have this built out, you're going to build another redstone staircase. Once that's done, you can check and see if these 2 circuits are working by placing a lever here and a lever here. You're going to extend this one first to see if it pushes them all out. Good. You want to extend this one next. If everything is like this, then things are great. Unextend the magenta line, and then unextend the lime line, and everything should pull back in. If that worked, then congratulations, you finished these 2 circuits perfectly. Next is the green circuit. Like before, you're going to start over here with a dust and a repeater, this time set to 4 ticks. Put a block in front of that repeater, and put a pathway out to here, and then extend it this way 5 more blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you have that in place, make sure to put 2 blocks here to separate the lines, and put redstone all the way across just like that. You're going to want a dispenser with powder snow in it, and an observer facing into that powder snow. Over here, you're going to continue making a path for your redstone by going 3 up diagonal at the end, just like that, with a torch, a block, a torch, and a block. Next to this torch here, you're going to put a dispenser, and next to this torch, you're going to put an observer. And you want to put a powder snow in this dispenser. On top of the block here, you're going to put another glass staircase for your redstone. Just like this. Once that's done, you're going to want to move on to the purple circuit. Now this one starts off a little different than the other ones. You want to place 2 glass blocks just like that. You're going to place a pathway for your redstone like this, and then a staircase just like that. You're also going to place some more solid blocks to stop the different redstone lines from interacting. You're going to put a dispenser here with powder snow. You're also going to want to put an observer right here facing into where the snow gets dispensed. And then you're going to start with the redstone. So redstone there, a redstone repeater on 1 tick, and then redstone up like that. You're going to make a torch, and then a block, and then a torch, and then a block. And you're also going to build out just like this, just like on the other side. Once that's in place, you can then build a staircase for your redstone. And then cover it. And then you can place the redstone all the way down, just like that. Now, to test if it's working properly, first you're going to have a lever there and a lever there. Push that out, and then push that out. If everything extended just fine, congratulations. Now you can retract it. And then retract that. If everything retracted nice and fine, then you have a properly working purple circuit. Next, we'll do the blue circuit. If you come over here, you need to place two blocks here, just like that, a block there, and a block there, with a dust, a repeater on one tick, and a dust. Then you're going to come over here and place a sticky piston right there, just like that, and place 2 blocks just like that. These 2 blocks back here will have redstone on top. Over here, you're going to want to have a dropper facing down and a dropper facing up. Then from there, you want an observer facing in this direction. You want to have a comparator facing in this direction, which goes into a block. Below that, you're going to have 2 hoppers facing into each other. And then you want to have a comparator taking output from this hopper and a redstone torch right here. Next, you're going to come over here, put a torch on the observer, put a block on the torch, put a torch on the block, and then take some redstone out from this torch. And you're going to have to place a block here to separate these 2 lines. And you're going to put a target block to redirect that redstone. Finally, you're going to put an unstackable item in the bottom dropper and 20 stackable items in either of the hoppers. When you do this, you'll probably have the machine go off once. Next up is the yellow circuit. You're going to come over here, start building a path for your redstone just like this. A block here, block here, 2 out, and then 2 out in this direction, and then 4 in this spot, and then 8 right there. And the end of this is going to be 2 past this dispenser here. And I'm going to build up a small staircase just like that. Then you're going to put redstone on this yellow line you just made. When you get over here, remember to put a solid block blocking off the 2 lines so they don't interact with each other. When you get by this redstone torch, place a repeater. Then place 2 redstone, and then 3 repeaters set to 4 ticks. Then you're going to put the redstone up just like this. Next, you're going to build out something that looks like this. A 3x3 platform right here with a 2x2 square just like that. You're going to have blocks coming up like this, a little staircase just like that. Then over here, you're going to have another small staircase. And right here, you'll have a block. On this side, you're going to extend this branch over 3 additional blocks. And on this side, you're going to want to do the same. Let's put the redstone on here. Make a redstone pattern just like this. Put redstone along here. And all along here. You're going to put a repeater here on 1 tick, 3 repeaters here, each on 4 ticks, and on each side you're going to put a repeater on 3 ticks. Next, you're going to put a target block here and here, and then a torch on the target, and then a block on the torch, and then a torch on the block. Over here, you're going to have a block, a torch, a block, a torch. Then over here, you're going to have a block, a torch, a block, and a torch. Now let's build redstone towers up to all these pistons, starting at the left. Solid block, glass down here, and a glass staircase, something like this. Once that tower is done, place redstone on all the glass blocks and on all the obsidian. Don't forget to put a redstone right here and a glass here, just to prevent any issues from happening. We're going to do much the same on this section here, with a solid block and a glass tower coming all the way up, just like this. And then you're going to place redstone on all the glass. To test if this is working properly, place a lever on the target block and see if all the pistons extend. If they do, you did it right. Next, we'll do this section. It's mostly the same, just mirrored. And always remember to check your work. And finally, we're going to do this side. It's going to be much like the other side, with a solid block and a glass tower going straight up. And you're going to place redstone on all of the obsidian and all the glass. Once you have all that placed in, feel free to test out this circuit by placing a lever here. If it extends properly, and then retracts slowly, you built it correctly. Next, to do Cyan. You're going to come over here first, where the lime circuit is. Where it dips down, you're going to place one right here. Place a little path for your redstone, going up just like that. Right here, you'll place a dispenser with powder snow in it. And you'll place an observer facing into the space where that would go, where the powder snow will get dispensed. You're going to build another redstone path up here, just like this. A strip of 3 here, strip here, and here, connecting all the observers, and then it dipped here, goes up like this, and then a shape just like this, and like this. Then you can place redstone all along this stuff. Have a repeater on one tick right here. You're going to take a block and block off these 2 circuits from interacting. And you're going to place redstone just like that. Then on each of these, you're going to have a torch, 2 torches up like that. Sorry. On this one, you have the torches like this. And you're going to have those torches powering another redstone staircase that goes up on each side. Finally, don't forget to put a block right here. To test if the circuit is working properly, place a lever here, and if all the observers get extended, then you built it right. Just make sure that every dispenser observer pair you've made so far point in this area points into the redstone line. Next, we're going to do the pink circuit. To start, go over to this block right here and place a piston right here. Then you're going to place a tower of pistons going all the way up to the top of the farm. You're also going to place a tower of dispensers facing this way, right here. In front of every other observer and every other piston, you're going to place a solid block. just like that. Then you're going to make redstone staircases on both sides. Next, you're going to go to this empty space right here, the second visible observer up, and build out a little platform like this. On the platform, you're going to put a repeater on 2 ticks here and a repeater on 3 ticks here. And you're going to place redstone on the rest of the surface. To test if you did it right, place a block here, and it should push out 1 time. All of them. No matter which place you place it at. Once you have this one done, it's time to place one over here. Place your first piston like this, and build your tower all the way up. Then do the same with your observers. Do the same thing you did before, placing blocks on every other piston and every other observer. And build your towers. Once you have that built, you're going to go to the second visible observer, just like last time, and build out the same structure again, just mirrored, just like this. With a repeater here, set to 2 ticks, one here, set to 3 ticks, and redstone on all the rest. To test if you built it right, place a block at the bottom, and if all of them extend, place a block at the top. If all of them extend, then you built it right. Now we're going to build another one of these, but it's going to be much larger. So you're going to start right here, and you're going to bring these pistons over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you can build up this entire wall of pistons up to the height of your farm. Once you have that wall built, you're going to place observers right here. Once that's in place, you're going to do the same thing you did before with the observers, placing a solid block on every other one, and a row of solid blocks on every other line of pistons. We're going to extend each of these lines out by 1 block, and you're going to place a repeater on that block you just extended out with, on each line. Then you're going to build your redstone towers. Next, you're going to place redstone on all of the blocks you place behind the pistons, just like this. And finally, you're going to build the control. Just like last time, you're going to find the second visible observer and place a little circuit that looks something like this. Have a repeater here going 2 ticks, here going 3 ticks, and redstone just like that. To test it, place a block here at the bottom, and if the entire wall moves once, then place one at the top. If the entire wall moves once, then you did it correctly. Next, we'll do the brown circuit. First, you're going to go 13 blocks from the front of this piston here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And you're going to place an observer on that final block. That it technically makes the observer the 14th block. Then you're going to make a stack of observers here, going all the way up to the height of your farm. Just like on the pink ones, you're going to place a block every other observer all the way up to the top, and you're going to make a little redstone staircase. Once you have that done, you're actually going to want to replace this block here with a solid block, with a repeater and a redstone on the block. Have the repeater feeding into a solid block with redstone underneath, going down 3 blocks, just like that. From here, feel free to extend your line all the way over to the yellow circuits. You're going to bring it around like this, so that it avoids interacting with the torches. And then once you get here, bring it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At the end of this, you should be lined up with this orange block here. Then you want to bring it down 2 blocks just like that. Once you have that redstone path in place, go ahead and place redstone on the path just like this. You're going to have a repeater here, and you're going to have a repeater right here. So the next part is a little complicated. Please pay extra attention to what I do here. First, have a dropper facing down, and then a dropper facing up into that first dropper. You're going to have a target block here, and 2 blocks right here, just like this. You're going to take a comparator output from the bottom dropper, just like that, and you're going to build something that looks a little like this. You're going to have 2 repeaters here, each on 4 ticks. You're going to have a redstone dust here, and a redstone torch right here. On top of that torch, you're going to have a block with a redstone on it, and a piston feeding out from that redstone, and a block on the end of that piston. Down here, you're going to build something that looks a little like this. 2 blocks there, 3 blocks there, with a block going up there, and one going up there, and another block here just like this, with a glass, and a glass, and a solid block, and a torch, and a piston right here. You're going to want to put a target block right here, with a piston, with a trap chest on top of that piston. Finally, you're going to put a repeater here, and redstone on all of the available surfaces. All the way up to here. And you're going to put a block here to prevent these 2 circuits from mixing. Alright, this is important. Don't forget, like I forgot, a solid block goes here to separate the brown and the yellow circuits. Testing if this actually works properly is pretty hard, so just look over everything. Once everything is looked over, go ahead and place an unstackable item in the top dropper. Right now would be a great time to place a piece of glass here, a decorative block of your choice right here, and a redstone dust on the glass. And now let's build the final circuit, the gray circuit. First, you're going to place a redstone torch right here, and you're going to place a path for redstone to go that goes up just like this. You're going to have 2 glass just like that. Next to this glass, you'll have 6 solid blocks just like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to bring it around like this. So, add a block there, add a glass right here, and 3 more blocks right here. At the end of this, you're going to put a sticky piston. You're going to place an observer facing in this direction, and another one right here facing in this direction. Then you're going to put a dropper right here and a dispenser right here. You're going to have a hopper facing into the dropper and a double chest on top of that hopper. Coming back over to this area, going to place a sticky piston there with a block, and you're going to place redstone on your path. You're going to need to put a repeater right here, and you're going to need to put a block right here to separate these two circuits. To test if you built this part correctly, all you need to do is put a bunch of blocks in the double chest and turn on this piston. If you did it right, then the dispenser should be spitting out the blocks you put in the double chest. Once you finish the gray circuit, you can move on to finishing touches. First of all, you're going to want to build your control panel. So you're going to put 4 blocks here, just like this, 2 redstone lamps, and some stairs placed just like this. You're also going to place a solid block here, some stairs like this, and a redstone here. Once you have those in place, you can put in a button there, a button there, a button there, and 2 levers. You can also label your controls here. The emergency shutoff, the button that shuts off the overflow lock, farm cycling, bonemealing, and the button that starts the farm. Personally, I also like to put a couple slabs up here for decoration purposes. Next, you're going to want to put in all your floors and pathways. Starting at the control panel area, you're going to have a platform of upside down slabs right here, with a stair going like this, a slab here, and a block, and a stair, and a stair, and a slab. I also like to put some decoration here, just like this. Next, you're just going to bring your slabs all the way over here, and we'll get to continuing to use this later. You're going to want to put a platform under your collection area, just so that you have an easy place to stand while, while chopping down all the logs you get. So you're just going to make a large square that fits inside the collection area, just like this. You're going to want to have this platform lit up so that no mobs can spawn. So you're going to first place a glowstone here, 3 from the corner, here, 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 and here. And this should keep this area lit up pretty well. Then you're going to take slabs. You're going to extend the platform out a bit on this side, and you're going to extend it on this side. That way you have places to walk besides the area where the logs are going to be. And you're going to want to put a guardrail around so you don't accidentally walk off. Then you're going to want to remove those bits of guardrail there and start making a slab staircase going down to the same level as your pathway from earlier. And you're also going to want to start taking your guardrail and bringing it down as well. And just bring the path around just like this. Go ahead and just do the same thing on the other side. And if you'd like, you can thin out these parts of the guardrail just like so. And, you know, the height of the guardrail doesn't matter as long as it blocks you from falling off. Once you have your paths finished, now you're going to want to place a platform in this area just to cover up all of this redstone and to make sure that you don't accidentally place any blocks that will catch on the slimestone. So, I'm going to start on the bottom on each of these sides, and you're going to just make a platform all along the bottom here. And along this side. And to stop roots from growing down, you're going to just place blank signs all along these spots here. If you'd like, for decorational purposes, you can also place obsidian around the edge, just so you can, you know, so it's more visually pleasing from the AFK spot. You're also going to want to come up here, and 2 blocks above the highest point, so that's on the second block, you want to put a single solid block right up here in the center to make sure trees don't grow any higher than the farm can handle. And since you're up here already, you might as well light up all the spots on the top, just to make sure no mobs can spawn. You should also light up this pathway. Finally, once you have all that done, place the dirt right here, and the farm is ready. Fill this chest with bone meal, and you can run this farm to your heart's content, and get as much mangrove as you need for your next big project. Well, that's the end of the tutorial. If you're still here, I want to say genuinely thank you for watching the whole thing. I spent a long time building this machine, like a good couple months. I mean, obviously with work and stuff, it wasn't 2 months straight, but you get what I mean. This was the most complicated project I've ever worked on, and I was not expecting it to be an hour long when I started, but you know, that's how things go. I just want to let you guys know that I will not be stopping here. I have an entire creative world full of machines that I've already finished. For instance, I've got an automatic smelting array here. I've got a potion lab. I've got all kinds of things. I'm already just ready and waiting. And they are a lot easier to build than the mangrove farm. So you should be able to see those coming up pretty soon. If you want to see all the machines in my creative world that I've finished, show up here as tutorials. Make sure to subscribe, and if you liked the tutorial, hit the like button. I mean, it'll let me know I'm doing something right. If you want me to prioritize a certain machine, or you want me to come up with a new design, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. This is Psyker, signing out.